Hello everyone, I'm Rupali Meshram. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for my latest updates.
Good morning students. Today we are going to study Standard 7th History, Chapter 4, Maharashtra before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. At the beginning of the 17th century CE, most of the territory in Maharashtra was under the control of Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar and Adil Shah of Bijapur. The Mughals had entered Khandesh. Their objective was to expand their power in the south. There were settlements of Sindhi people who had come from Africa along the coastline of Konkan. The competition and conflict among the Portuguese, the British, the French, and the Dutch who had come from Europe was getting intense during this period. There was stiff competition amongst them to capture the markets for trade. The Portuguese had already established their rule in Goa and Vasai on the western coastline. The British, the Dutch, and the French had found an entry through the medium of trading companies by setting up factories. All these powers, access to strength of other powers, kept themselves safe and tried to dominate as much as possible. This conflict had created instability and insecurity in Maharashtra. These different people from Europe were called Topkar on the basis of their customary headgear. It is necessary to get acquainted with the village, Kasbah and Pargana to understand the nature of settlement in that period, as also of the officers that formed a link between the rulers and their subjects, and also the markets and the craftsmen. Pargana was made up of many villages. Generally, the headquarters of a Pargana was called Kasbah. A village smaller than a Kasbah was called Mauja. Let us get acquainted in brief with village, Kasbah and Pargana respectively. Village, Mauja. Most of the people live in village. A village was called Mauja. The chief of the village was the Patil. He used to try to bring maximum land under cultivation. When there was any dispute in the village, the Patil resolved it and made peace. A Kulkarni helped the Patil in his work. The Kulkarni kept the record of the revenue that was collected. There were various artisans in the village. They had hereditary rights regarding their occupation. The peasants gave a share of their agricultural produce to the artisans for the service that rendered to the village community. This share was known as Baluta. Kasbah. Kasbah was like a big village. It was usually the headquarters of a Pargana. Example, Indapur Kasbah of Indapur Pargana, Vai Kasbah of Vai Pargana were the headquarters of those Parganas. Agriculture was the main occupation. There were skilled artisans like carpenters, blacksmiths, etc. in a Kasbah. There was usually a market called Pet adjacent to a Kasbah. The Shette and Mahajan were the Watandars of the Pet. Every village did not necessarily have a Pet. The setting up of Pet was the job of the Shettes and the Mahajans. For that, they received some land from the government and some rights from the villagers. The Mahajan maintained the accounts of the Pet. Do you know, as per the order of Veer Mata Jizabai, a Pet was established in Pashan near Pune. It was called Jijapur. Malpura, Khelpura, Paraspura, Vithapura in Aurangabad are also new Pets established in the name of Maloji, Keloji, Parsoji and Vithoji respectively. Shivapur adjacent to Khed was a Pet established in the name of Shivaji Maharaj. Let's learn. The words Budruk and Khurd are used to show that the two villages are different. The original town is Budruk and the new one is Khurd. For example, Vadgaon Budruk and Vadgaon Khurd. Pargana. Many villages together made a pargana, but the number of villages was not the same in all parganas. For example, the Pune Pargana was a big pargana. It consisted of 290 villages. There were 64 villages in the Chakan Pargana. The Shirwal Pargana was small. It had only 40 villages. The Deshmukh and the Deshpande were the Vatandar officers of the Pargana. The Deshmukh was the chief of Patils in a Pargana. The Deshmukh did at the Pargana level what the Patil did at the village level. The Deshpande was the chief of all Kulkarnis in the Pargana. The Deshpande did at the Pargana level the work that Kulkarnis did at the village level. These Vatandar officers were link between the people and the government. In case of enemy invasion or drought, these Vatandars represented the grievances of the people to the government. Sometimes these officers misused their power. They collected more money from the people than was due or did not remit the money so collected to the government in time. On such occasions, the people suffered harassment. Do you know? Vatan is an Arabic word. In Maharashtra, it is used is a refer to hereditary land for which the holder does not have to pay revenue. The calamity of a famine. Agriculture was dependent on rainwater. If it did not rain, crops would fail. The prices of food grains rose. It became difficult for the people to get food grains and other things. There was no fodder for the cattle. Water became scarce. It became difficult for people to live in the village. They were forced to leave the village. A famine was a great calamity for the people. A great famine occurred in Maharashtra in 1630 CE. People were greatly distressed due to this famine. It has been described in these words: people were ready to sell themselves for a piece of bhakri, but there was nobody to buy them. There was a severe scarcity of food grains. Entire families were destroyed. Cattle and farm animals died. Agriculture was devastated. The famine put an end to industries. All financial transactions came to a standstill. People had to wander to faraway regions in search of livelihood. It was a great challenge to bring back to normalcy the devastated life of the people. The work of the Warkari movement. Society was greatly influenced by blind beliefs and rituals. People had become fatalistic and inert. They had lost all initiative. The condition of the common people was miserable. In such circumstances, the sons of Maharashtra endured to inspire the masses. In Maharashtra, the tradition of sons, which began with Sant Jnaneshwar and Sant Namdev, was carried on by sons coming from various strata of the society. People from all strata of society were part of the Sant tradition. For example, Sant Chokhamela, Sant Gorava, Sant Sena, Sant Savta, Sant Narhari, Sant Sheikh Muhammad, etc. Sant Chokoba's wife, Sant Soirabai, and sister, Sant Nirmalabai, Sant Muktabai, Sant Janabai, Sant Kanopatra, Sant Bahinabai, Sirukar, and other women were also among them. Pandharpur was at the center of the Sant movement. Vitthal was the object of their worship. On the banks of the river Chandrabhaga at Pandharpur, the sons and pilgrims used to rejoice in their devotion. Their equality was propagated through bhajans, kirtans, and unity meals. Sant Namdev, he was a great sant of the Warkari movement. He was a skilled organizer. He performed excellent kirtans as well. He awakened the sense of equality in men and women belonging to all castes. through the medium of kirtans. His pledge was Natsu kirtanache rangi jnanadeep lavu jagi. The translation of these sentences: dance to the tune of kirtans, light the lamps of knowledge in the world. Its meaning is Sant Namdev asked to spread knowledge in the world through kirtans. His Abhanga compositions are well known. Many sons as well as common people were influenced by his teachings. He went up to the Punjab propagating his thoughts. His compositions are included in the Guru Granth Sahib of Sikh. He propagated the message of Bhagavad religion in all quarters. He built a memorial to Sant Chokha Mela at Pandharpur. His work is unforgettable. Sant Jnaneshwar. He was a great sant in the Warkari movement. He wrote the Bhavarta Dipika on Jnaneshwari, which illustrates the meaning of the Sanskrit Bhagavad Gita. He also composed the Amritanubhav. He preached the importance of the path of devotion. Through his works and compositions, he showed a simple way of worship and conduct, which the common people could follow easily. He gave the prestige of a religion to the Warkari movement. Though his life was spent in extremely adverse circumstances, he never lost the calm of his mind and never harbored bitterness. His Pasaidan in Jnaneshwari uplifts the mind. The poetic compositions of his brothers Sant Nirupnath and Sant Sopandev and Sister Muktabai are well known. Sant Eknath. He was a great sant of the Bhakti movement in Maharashtra. His compositions are many and diverse. They include Abhanga, Gauran, Bharut, etc. He has started Bhagavad Dharma in detail and in a simple manner. He has portrayed people's life in Bhavarta Ramayana through the story of Ram. He explained in Marathi the Bhakti part of the Sanskrit word Bhagavad. His Abhangas showed the warmth of devotion. He demonstrated through his own conduct that there is no need to renounce worldly matters for attaining the highest truth, Paramarth. He was a teacher of the people in the true sense of the term. He believed that our Marathi language was inferior to no other language. He asked the Sanskrit scholars forcefully, Sanskrit Vani Dev Keli, Tari Prakrut Kai Chora Pasuni Zali. He heavily criticized those who hated other religion. The meaning of the sentence is the scriptures were in Sanskrit and only priests could read scriptures in pre-Shivaji's time. Sant Eknath said that all languages were languages of God. Sant Eknath. Sant Tukaram. He belonged to Dehu near Pune. His compositions or abhangas are very pleasing and lucid, reaching the greatest poetic heights. His Gatha is a precious treasure of a Marathi language. He asks us to find God by showing love to the unhappy and the tormented in the following lines. जेका रंजले गांजले त्यासी मने जो आपले तोची साधू ओळखावा देव तिथेच जाणावा. The translation of this sentence is, the one who calls the tormented and unhappy people as their own, only he is a true sant. There is God only there. The meaning of this sentence is, Sant Tukaram says that a true sant calls the weak and tormented people as their own, and God resides only at such places. With this viewpoint, he threw in the river Indrayani the document of the loans that people had borrowed from him and freed many poor families from the bonds of loan. He criticized the hypocrisy and superstition in the society in very strong terms. He stressed that devotion should be coupled with morality. His teachings can be summed up as Jodoniya dhanit uttam vyavhare udas vichare vech kari. The translation of the sentence is, gather wealth by ideal action, spend it seriously. Meaning of the sentence is, Sant Tukaram says that a person should not earn by wrong methods and should not spend wealth carelessly. Some dogmatic people opposed the social awakening that he had undertaken and sunk his abhangas in the Indrayani. Sant Tukaram faced the opposition with noble courage. Sant Tukaram's disciples and associates were of different castes and creeds. They include Navji Mari, Gavnar Shetwani, Santaji Jagnade, Shubha Kasar, Bahinabai Siurkar, and Mahadaji Pant Kulkarni. An important task completed by Gangaram Pant Mawar and Santaji Jagnade was writing down the abhangas of Sant Tukaram. Work of Sants. Sants gave the message of equality to people. They taught humanity. They preached that people should live together in harmony, unity, and love. Their work resulted in social awakening. They taught how to live in the face of foreign invasions, drought-like situation, or any other natural calamities. Their teachings proved to be a big support for people. Their work created self-confidence among the people of Maharashtra. There was a deterioration of ethics and religion in the society. At such a times, the sons came forward to protect the society. They taught the true meaning of religion. They showed the path of devotion by living amongst people and sharing their joys and sorrows. Some orthodox and dogmatic people opposed them, but the sons believed that facing their opposition was a part of their duty. Sant Tukaram has explained the mark of a true sant in these words: Tuka mane tochi sant, soshi jagache ghat. Translation: Tuka says only he is a sant who shares the sorrows of the world. Meaning is, Sant Tukaram says that only a person who reduces the sorrow from this world is a true sant. The sants elucidate the complex dharma of the scholars in the language of the people. They prayed to God using simple everyday terms. They took the view that all are equal before God. They taught society to do away with pride arising out of caste and varna and see everyone as God's children. A characteristic of the sants was that they did not forget their duties on the path of devotion. They found God in their work. Sant Savta said, Kanda mula bhaji, avgi vithai maji. Translation: onion, radish, vegetables, there resides my God. Meaning of the sentences: Sant Savta says in these lines that God resides in all things in life, including work. This statement refers to farm work but applies to work in all walks of life. The sons carried on with their duties, even as they were engaged in devotion, teaching and composing verses. They developed the moral sensibilities of the society. Ramdas Swami. He was from Jam in Marathwada. He explained the importance of physical fitness to the people. Maratha tituka मिळवावा, Maharashtra dharma वाढवावा. Translation of the sentences: gather all the Marathas, propagate Maharashtra religion. Meaning of the sentences: Ramdas Swami asked the Maratha people to be united and spread their culture. This message of Ramdas Swami is famous. He gave practical education and lessons in good conduct. Through his works like Dasbodh, Karun Nashtakar, Manache Shlok, he stated the importance of people's movement and organization and founded the Samartha Sampradaya. Chapad was the center of this Sampradaya. He propagated the worship of Ram and Hanuman. He travelled far and wide to propagate his thoughts. Inspirational for independence during foreign rule. Such was the political, social, cultural situation, etc. in Maharashtra before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. In that period, Maharashtra was under the control of Adil Shahi and other powers. It was not independent. Even so, some personalities and streams of thoughts were dreaming of freedom. Among them, Shahaji Maharaj, who is considered to be a visionary of Swaraj, was on the forefront.